Jimmy McAleod found the net. Goal for Wednesday.
Terrific goal by Sheridan.
Chris Waddle, is he going to have a crack?
Oh, he does, and it's goal. Still Glenn Wheeler. Hayden Flood works the Is there time for a winner?
Hello and welcome all to Extra Time, where usually we discuss all of the bollocks that's going on surrounding Sheffield Wednesday. And in years gone by, like last season, Paul, all we used to do on this show was have a laugh. What it's become is the overspill show, really. It needs a rebrand to all of the mental shit that we didn't get through in the main show that we'll cover. So we'll start off with a Wrexham preview. Obviously, we're off to Disneyland this week coming. 1,200 tickets is what Wednesday fans have got. Now, the reason why it's such a small allocation is because they've only got 3 stands, like Oxford. They're that shit. They are redeveloping what I think used to be their COP, and it's taking, I think it's going to be I want to say a 10,000 seater stand or something, which is going to be some fucking stand, by the way, because it's behind the goal. And that is the reason for the reduced allocation, because there's been a heated discussion within Discord today surrounding priority points and ticket priority points, because some smart Alec on Twitter did the math and was like, I don't understand how anybody's got over 770 points. And there's people who, you know, like Liam, for example, one of our quite active Discord members, I don't think he's ever missed a game, is the honest answer. And he's just into the second wave. I mean, I go to most games, or I'll certainly have a ticket for the game, whether it's me or I give it to my dad or whatever. I'm at 750 or something like that. What do you think for this upcoming Wrexham game? Obviously, it's unlikely that we'll see Josh Windass, who went off after half an hour in their 3-2 loss to West Brom.
Probably because he didn't have a pre-season, maybe. But
yes, I said exactly the fucking same, mate. Great minds and all that.
Yeah, fucking joke.
What do you reckon then? Because if normal season, this is a newly promoted side, fresh to the division. Yes, they're going to be very partisan at home. Yes, it's a fairy tale, but you'd be thinking normal season, 3 points here, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I think so. And also watching a little bit of this Wrexham thing and seeing Phil Parkinson manage makes me absolutely bald. The fact that he's got to where he's got, like, fucking listen, you fucking get in him, fuck him, and you fucking do this. Over to my assistant. Fucking hell, lads. Fucking you fucking do this. Fucking why don't you have it? And I'm like, all right, so off you fucking go. Come on. I'm like, wow. So if we've got Pedersen, I'm more confident. However, Jesus, they've literally fucking gone for it, haven't they?
Yes,
they're going for it, aren't they?
Yeah,
and I hope it doesn't fucking work.
Yeah.
Because I don't like it.
It's interesting, isn't it? Because as you mentioned it on the main show, and you were 100% right to do so. Wrexham, Ryan Reynolds, and I always forget the other bloke's name. Rob McElhenney, that's the one. Thank God for reminding me, otherwise this would have been a long half hour or so. Ryan Reynolds and Rob McElhenney, yes, Rob saw this club, fell in love with it, reminded him of Philadelphia. I don't know how the fuck Wrexham reminds you of Philadelphia. I've never been to Philadelphia, but I can't imagine they look even remotely similar.
You'd rather be in Philadelphia.
Yeah, I think I would as well. Fell in love with it. And originally, yes, I think they've wanted to save this football club because it's, you know, off in the abyss. And I think financially it made sense at the price point that they bought him. But I think they've also been very honest on this documentary of the fact that, yes, there's that. But for them to be successful, they have to use their star pulling power. And that is exactly what they've done, isn't it? That is how they've become so successful. It's the fanfare surrounding it, isn't it?
I think, can you imagine if they'd have got Older Wednesday?
Oh, my goodness me. Can you imagine the complaints?
But can you imagine what they could have done?
Yeah.
It's Starpool FC, isn't it? Arguably, that's why Josh Windass has gone. I don't believe it's immensely football related, because I know there was other clubs potentially, weren't they, looking at him?
Yeah.
And I think I briefly touched on him getting hugged with Ryan Reynolds and it going on Ryan Reynolds' Twitter. I'm sure the social media's got some pull in it for him. But yeah, it's a little bit Disneyland, isn't it? I watched them the other day because they were on Sky, weren't they, yesterday? And I watched
West Brom.
Again, I think it comes down to you can have all the players in the world, but fucking do that. And why are you fucking doing this? And I feel it comes probably to tactics. I think we've got a chance if we set up right. I think we've got more than a chance. I feel that it is if it goes wrong, it's going to go wrong big time. I was reading something like, weren't they bidding £10 million for somebody the other day?
Nathan Broadhead has recently gone there for £7 million.
Just imagine if we'd have had a commercial department that brought in advertising and things like that and companies. Yeah. Imagine if we'd have had an income to actually give an outcome.
Yeah, it's interesting because I think it's really easy to get lost in the fanfare surrounding Wrexham when actually a lot of the credit needs to go to a gentleman called Sean Harvey, who's the director of professional football operations there.
Yes, that's the guy with the shaved head, isn't it?
Yes, it is, because what they were very smart in doing when Rob and Ryan come in, and you see it on the first season of the documentary, is both of them go, I don't know the first thing about football. They know American sports, but I know nothing about
that. Sounds familiar, that.
100%. And what did they do? They went out and got football people. And it's interesting when you, because I confess I haven't really kept up with the documentaries or anything like that. I watched the first series and then after that I'd kind of like tuned it off. I was like, right, well, I know what's going to happen here. But what they've done consistently is they've had in the room adults who tell you, yes, this may be your blue sky idea.
Yeah.
But here's the reality. If you want to aim for if you want to aim for the moon, this is how much a rocket's going to cost you to get there.
Yeah.
And if you're prepared to do it, then brilliant. If you're not, here are 4 or 5 alternatives of how you can go about doing this.
Yeah.
Whether that be promotion from the National League, whether that be promotion from League 2, whether it be promotion from League 1, this is what it's going to cost you. This is how much you are going to go after. Effectively, crowdfund. Because that is what Wrexham have done, isn't it? It's not Ryan and Rob who've put their money up.
What's their capacity?
I want to say early teens. So
whereas our club he's relied on us, as we now know, they can't rely on that.
No.
So they're relying on using the brains in regards to the fields that they sit in. And making it commercially. I had a conversation just to briefly touch on with somebody saying if somebody came to Wednesday and got it right, they'd get 60, 70,000 in a game. And it was like, how would they? I went, because they won't all be from Sheffield.
Yeah. I don't disagree.
They'd be like Wrexham now drinking in that pub that's probably doing an absolute killing because they're coming from America, China, Asia, because the old Deadpool fans or whatever, or they might see Ryan Reynolds in the stand. I think commercially, sorry, I've gone off the question.
No, you haven't, mate, because it's all centres around
fairy tale.
Wrexham, but fairy tale. Wrexham are, in my opinion, yes, I will continue to give them shit if I'm lucky enough to get a ticket, which I'm hoping I do. I'm sitting in that window where it can sell out. I will give them plenty of shit next week. I'll be up there singing Disneyland away, 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 away. But it's exactly how you should run a club outside of the Premier League. You get some form of star power or pulling power or names attached, and they don't have to own it. They just have to be involved. Like the reason why it works is because Liverpool have this with LeBron James.
Yeah,
like Birmingham City have it down the road from me with Tom Brady. You get somebody with some star power who will get investors into a room because they can shake their hand and go, "Oh my God, it's really nice to meet you. Oh my God, I'm so pleased to have met you. Thank you. Yeah, of course, I'll sign a check. You're involved, of course I will," because they can then say, "I do business with so and so," and it might only be a check for, in the grand scheme of things, a very very small amount of money to them, but because they can see the business model and the figures add up. That pulling power is exactly what's required. You're exactly right.
I mean, even in industry I'm in, I did something in Vegas, and I met a girl called Jermaine who used to be a PA for Manny Pacquiao.
Yeah.
And she was around that circle of people. And she was telling me that a famous fighter
Yeah.
who she had contact with, not Manny Pacquiao, but like one of the big boys. A business had approached her because he was having dinner with clients in Vegas, and for £100,000, they would like him to attend and just have free courses with them, just so this guy can sit in the room and go, "Oh, look who I know," or "Look who I can bring in." And I think that now in the social media world is absolutely massive. It's people don't. That's where Wrexham are pulling in that thing that, like, again, it comes down to having an ownership model with sense and capability of having the right contacts, i.e. we never knew the full team of Adam Shaw, who had apparently a name or somebody that they probably put in that shirt release. This is going back to signing somebody like Jamie Vardy, and selling shitloads of shirts.
Yeah, I agree. If you look at, give you another example of this here. United Airlines, one of the biggest airlines in America, is plastered all over Wrexham. And once upon a time, it was TikTok. Plastered on the front of their shirts. United Airlines, for those who don't know or have never done any travel in and around the US, is like, it's a very well-known and respected commercial airline. Inside the US, it does it does transatlantic flights. It flies all over the globe, but predominantly its business is within the United States. Now, you would think that a business like that is paying a premium for a shirt sponsorship, wouldn't you? The shirt sponsorship that they are reportedly paying is £400,000. So it's not masses of money, and it never has been. The thing that Wrexham have done is they've totaled up all of these blue chip sponsors: TikTok, United Airlines, Aviator Gin. And they've packaged it all in one football club, so that actually the commercial revenue that is driven into the club and the brand exposure that the football club gets actually pales into insignificance compared to the original money that comes in.
Are you telling me that Wrexham have actually come up with a plan before they bought a club?
Yeah, I am. And they've, as you rightly said at the top of this, Paul, they've used their star pulling power to get those names.
They've used what they've got. And unfortunately, our owner, I don't know what he's got. And if he didn't have it, like you said at the very beginning of this, go and get the CEO that not Wrexham's got, but somebody of that capability. Mandevich had Aldridge, who I think ran the club, or the different people, ran when he wasn't there.
Yeah.
This is all probably, we're all done on a phone call to it's absolutely. How do you just to break away from this little bit? How the fuck the EFL haven't sorted it? Or how does this work, man? How on earth? It's like running a sweet shop.
Well, really seriously, there is a point here. It is a miracle that the actual football club still operates, isn't it? When you're talking about how sparse it is in terms of that backroom staff. But that's a story for another day.
Well, that's because of the fans again, though. We could argue, but that's because the players play for the fan base, as Michael Smith quoted. Bannon's here because of the fans and the affiliation. All the staff work here because they're fans.
Yeah. You're right. 100%. It goes back to that age-old adage of actually Sheffield Wednesday for too long has been propped up by
the fans,
a fan base that is, I would argue, more hopefully delusional. Like, we are so driven by blind hope of once upon a time, not so long ago, we were good, and now we're not. And even we play Leeds in the Carabao Cup. Even Leeds fans walked away. Eventually Leeds fans walked away, and they were relegated in the mid-2000s, early 2000s. We've been relegated since then, and it has been consistent. Last year, the attendance was 27,000 average at Hillsborough. It's been proved this fan base won't just turn its back on this football club.
But this fan base needs to be understood. Whoever comes into Wednesday needs to say, right, listen, even if you've not got a lot of money, this is who we are. We're completely transparent. We want to build from the bottom upwards. Please back us. Whatever we ask you for, we will tell you what it's for. We're never going to take the piss. We're always going to be dead straight. If we're going to charge you £72 for the shirt, we're going to tell you why. We're going to tell you everything, who it's going to fund. We are going to have a conversation with you. And we're going to have that middle person that actually stays there and actually talks to you. Not the manager that we've put in front of you and let's get shot down. Actual somebody there. And it's just going to be so good to see It's got to be built, hasn't it, Matt? Brick by brick. We've got to build it up brick by brick, how it should have been done. Not throw loads of money at a 34-year-old striker or whatever. No disrespect, and have a go at it. A little bit like Wrexham at the minute reminds me a little bit like when Chansiri came in. And it was like, you know what, we're going to have a go, and I'm going to throw shitloads at it. Yeah. I mean, some of the stuff that's coming on Sky Sports, like I said, a £10 million player, Connor Cody as well going there. Yeah. And obviously, I'm sure Josh has got a good deal out of it as well, being a free transfer or whatever. Yeah. And you've got Kiefer Moore as well, and you're thinking, fucking hell, they're throwing. And then that guy, they're actually trying to, somebody said to me, they're trying to get Welsh internationals, aren't they?
Yeah.
So, because that's an investment in not only the club, but the actual community.
Yep.
Fucking hell, ain't that clever?
I'm just bringing this up. Daz has put, stop talking sense, Paul. I will bring another one of Daz's comments up here, which is...
Shut up, Paul.
Shut up, Paul. Which is, don't you think football fans outside of Wrexham are just a little bit jealous due to the fact that they have amazing advertising, Paul, which is why they spend so much money because they can. That is the damnedest truth of it, mate.
Do you know what?
I am so incredibly jealous that, and I'll say it, little old Wrexham, who up until this fucking circus rolled into town, bootlegger was the biggest thing to come out of Wrexham.
Do you know what,
that's fucking disgusting. He was the biggest thing to come out of Wrexham.
How many A-list Hollywood stars would put their name to a football club if they didn't have to put any money in, was showing a business plan, was going to increase their profile, their brand, as well as have a little bit of fun on the way?
Yeah.
What would they charge a football club?
Yeah, it's a no-brainer. It's a no-brainer.
You know, you could go to somebody who, I don't know, go up to, I don't know, I'm trying to think, not De Niro, but somebody of that ilk and say,
you could, if you went to, I don't know, let's pick a top blue chip A-list celebrity, DiCaprio. Like, because when you're talking Ryan Reynolds, you are talking
Titanic. We've got similarities, haven't we?
Yeah, well, yeah, absolutely. But you're talking that level of celebrity, aren't you? When you're talking Ryan Reynolds, you're talking A-list movie celeb here.
Yep.
So you are talking a DiCaprio, you're talking a Tom Hardy or someone like that, and you said you can come along, invest a very nominal amount of money. You'll probably make on that investment. You can pull it out whenever, but what we want from you is your profile around the club and at the game. What you get out of it is potentially a bit of a financial investment, a bit of a return on it, but also you get to have a bit of fun along the way. And as you rightly say, you would get a queue of people now because they've proved successful when nobody was there but them two. They've proved they're willing to put in the legwork. Yeah. They've proved they're willing to do... Like, we had Stephen Fletcher doing... what's his name from Magic Mike and 21 Jump Street?
Oh, yeah.
And Channing Tatum.
Yeah.
Channing Tatum doing an advert with fucking Stephen Fletcher was not on my bingo card in 2020 when he left this football club.
But the thing is, you know, the way the industry works is affiliation to other people that have got following that they know they're going to get a bit more. So... I never say his name, Channing Tatum, whatever. I can never say his name, but for him to come to Wrexham to watch a game and spend a bit of time with his mates and have a bit of a crack and then put me on camera. It's bringing now. Dare I say this? Because a lot of people won't overstep that North mark, i.e., when Simon Jordan talks about the Turk Ali, whatever.
Turkey Al Sheikh, yeah.
Oh yeah, it's too in the north for me. That's where they're going fucking wrong.
Yeah,
that's where they're going wrong because it's like let's go to London where everything's mass populated, where everybody wants to be Tottenham, Arsenal. I tell you what, let's find a little club up north that's actually not that little with the right investment, and it's won all these accolades, and we've got all these cups. And whatever Sheffield United fans say, go and check your trophy cabinet, right? You know, we've got all these things. We've actually got a rich history, right? Come back and tell me that there isn't a massive opportunity there for somebody to buy a club at basically fuck all with money that they deal with, get a plan, use the brand, get the blue neon owl back on the outside. How great would that owl look? You know, the blue neon sign. And actually have it on the shop as well as the stand, which would be fucking blow my mind if we didn't have two different brands going on.
If we completed Megastore, that would blow my mind. At the minute, it's Megast.
You know, then you've got a brand affiliation and things like that going on all over the world. It's just and that person that comes and visits Wednesday signs fucking 500 shirts in the store
And you can buy them. Yeah.
And you can buy them for another £5. The first down to the store, get
Yeah.
the shirts. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Just
Just on this before we wrap this up and go on to less happy matters. John Gurnill's put we'd get Tom and Jerry as commercial investors. I'll move it on here, Paul, into the North Stand, because obviously there was a lot of talk and a lot of posturing. I'll openly hold myself up here. I didn't think that stand was going to be open, and then of course, towards the back end of last week, obviously pre the Stoke game, we get the news that actually Sheffield Wednesday doesn't have to rehouse the 6,500 season ticket holders who are in there, and that the Safety Advisory Group and Sheffield City Council have signed off on it. The Trust then put out a statement basically saying we need more information about how the football club have been able to suffice the needs and requirements of the Safety and Advisory Group and Sheffield City Council, were then coupled with lots of media and lots of information coming out of fan experiences from the North Stand on Saturday, which was not just no hot water, no running water from taps. We've got cable ties or zip ties being placed around certain areas on the North Stand. We've got images of speakers being held up by nets, them not actually attached to the roof of the stand. The question that I have for you, Paul, is what on earth can the club have done to assure Sheffield City Council and the Safety Advisory Group? What will they have done in terms of, and I'm not asking for specifics on, the joinery or anything like that. What assurances have they given that they are, at this point in time, at this point of recording, unable to feel that they can actually go out to a wider fan base with? Because the reason why I'm asking that question is because it strikes me as they haven't done much.
No, do you know what it strikes me as? Same conversation at the end of the season. Or even worse, by December when it's raining and somebody goes, "Oh, what's that? Oh, fuck." Yeah. I because we don't get anything from the club, because there doesn't seem to be any departments at the club. We don't know. And I think, again, that builds a frustration of how have they done this? Obviously, whatever they've done, the Sheffield, I'm sure the safety regs and that won't sign it off unless it's safe. However, again, radio silence from the club doesn't help anybody. And we all presume the worst. My theory is it's not gone away. I just feel like it's had a lick of paint on it or whatever. If you've got a bit... I used to live in this flat in Manchester and it had damp. Right, It had a little bit of damp, and what she used to do every 3 months, would come and get a painter to paint over it.
Sounds like my level of housework, I'll be honest with you.
Same as mine. But the problem doesn't go away, does it? I mean, it's like anybody else goes, if you spend now, you save in the future.
Yeah.
My just personal opinion, looking at how I've seen things happen at Hillsborough under this current regime, is I'll fucking do what I have to do, because if it does sell, then it's their problem. It's fucking not mine.
The big giveaway for me for how close it was to being so clearly closed was when you look at the Leppings Lane end, from no matter what end you sit in, from the south stand, so the tunnel entrance, the bottom left is a disabled supporters section. So it's home fans and away fans sort of mixed in together. Normally, on the right-hand side of that, there is seats. Yesterday at the game, there was no seats on the back row. There was no seats on the back row because there was a wooden structure which was big enough to fit wheelchairs on. And that gives me the indication that they were fully prepped for this isn't going to be open, because that structure was not taken down. Now, I would argue here, Paul, that if that structure had been taken down or wasn't visible to supporters, you can very clearly see, oh, well, actually, it was always going to be okay. The fact that they've left that there is an indication to me, and I might be reading too much into effectively a wooden ramp. But what it read to me was, so there was a very real chance that wasn't opening then. Because if there was never going to be an issue, or they felt that it was actually going to be open, that wouldn't have been there. They wouldn't have erected that. They wouldn't have taken the seats out. They wouldn't have put that layer of kind of like extra precaution in there. If that
It
makes
wouldn't
sense.
surprise me. It wouldn't surprise me if this club has actually pushed back and said something to the council like, well, can you imagine the mayhem this is going to cause if it doesn't open? And tried to push it on them as, well, there's 7,000 or 8,000 fans, whatever it is, on the North Stand. We're going to have to relocate really close to the game now because you said it might be all right. I don't know, but personally, I don't trust anything he does.
Yeah, agreed.
And I think that trust has long gone with everybody. And that's why we're questioning, because let's be honest, it should have been done in 2020, 2021, and it wasn't. But you're still taking the money. Still taking the money. You give me your money, but you're a customer. Give me your money. Give me your money.
Yeah.
You know, we ain't got any hot water. I'm not bothered. Give me your money. Give me your money.
Yeah.
You know, why?
Because none of it appeared anyway, and again, I don't sit on the North Stand, so I don't know what the norm is there, for argument's sake. I don't know what the experience has been before. But like Natalie's put in the chat, no toilets working. We're now getting into...
That's absolutely... Sorry, Matt. That is absolutely unforgivable. Oh, how much is it a ticket on the North Stand?
30. I want to say off the top of my head, 35 quid for yesterday.
For watching what we're watching?
For watching. Ignore the product on the pitch. It's just what you're getting as a basic service. You're unable to wash your hands and you're unable to use the bathroom.
I've sat in the North Stand in the gods at the top. And I think... Yeah, it's like sitting in a stand that's not had any love and attention for the last how many years, because it's a strange thing that I don't think any other fan base will ever understand. Like this conversation that we're having now, and that Twitter thing about the water that's got about 70,000 views.
Yeah.
When there's a comment saying, don't you damage the club? You damage the club, you know. You go and damage the club, and you know, then you damage. Fucking hell! What do you want? Do you want to set fire to the stand and say it's all right? If you've got no hot water in 2025, you're charging £30 a ticket to watch effectively a load of kids that aren't good enough at this level, and you're expecting people not to be pissed off. I'm with you, Matt. For me, it's not acceptable. It's not even if it's open, it's not acceptable.
I agree with you, mate. And I'm just going to highlight this here. And I suppose this is something that, as Sheffield Wednesday fans, I don't think people should let this go away, because for too long we've just let things go. But with this, we are talking about, legitimately, we are talking about health and safety here of supporters going to a game. The question from Liam is, it wasn't safe last week, so why is it safe now? Because again, had supporters turned up to the ground yesterday, and I know you won't be able to see everything with your naked eye, but had supporters turned up to the ground yesterday and actually been able to visibly see some level of improvement, like some, even if they'd just gone into the bathroom and pressed the tap and water comes out, like you go, oh, hang on, somebody has been working on this. You can clearly, I do think genuinely there does need to be a more persistent, and I suppose this also builds wider pressure on the chairman as well. Yeah. More persistent pressure on the council and the safety advisory group to release the information as to why is that stand allowed to be open? Why? Yeah. Because a couple of weeks ago you'd shut it. From all of the reports, and the club still has more leaks than a sieve. Yeah. Nothing positive has come out, and you know, by all accounts, on Thursday or Wednesday, whenever the meeting was held, I think it was Wednesday when the meeting was held. Maybe it all lose track of time here. The club didn't know which way it was going to go. It was a genuine appeal of like, we actually don't know which way this is going to go. Again, it'd be very interesting. It wouldn't surprise me if people who went to the game yesterday, taken to Sheffield City Council and the Safety Advisory Group's websites and put in several... I would like more information.
Yeah, I think my only saving grace is the Sheffield City Council wouldn't have signed it off unless it was safe. I actually firmly believe that. Yeah. I don't think they've got any favouritism towards the chairman or anything. I think it's obviously primarily it's safety. The fact that it's got to this state under the history of our ground is absolutely disgusting. Yeah. What I would say is it's something that is worth looking at, because you've got three people as we know through Chris Powell's interview, that are effectively doing everything at that club.
Yeah.
And how much more can they do?
Yeah.
Because they've got it coming at every single angle. You know, you've got it coming at the north stand, you've got with the water, you've got safety, you've got not just the stand, what's going on the pitch, what's going on in the corporate facilities, what's going on in reception, what's going on. I just think that the club cannot be, my personal opinion, you cannot run a championship club like this and corner every base.
No, you can't. No, I agree with you. Well, we'll move on, Paul. We'll move on to another.
Can't you just see him though behind his desk in Thailand, going, waking up in the morning, going, fucking hell. Where do I start? Shit. Transfers? I can't do that.
That's it. You wake up after a heavy one and just go, I've got shit to do today. Put that
I didn't win anything last night in the casino. I didn't get that 5 million I needed. Shit. I'll keep gambling. I'll keep going. What else can I throw in? It's like the Bond thing, isn't it, when he's around the table and he throws the card in? Well, we'll throw the fucking North Stand in.
Oh, mate.
It's just lovely.
More jolly issues.
Go on.
The EFL have released a statement this week that are not allowing, or they haven't released a statement, sorry. A statement has been released via local media in terms of Andy Giddins, Rob Statham, Adam Oxley, and then everybody picked it up. The EFL is not allowing us to sign players before we prove we can pay the existing wages. Now, this to me, Paul, just smacks of common sense from the authorities.
I agree.
It doesn't help the picture or the situation on the pitch.
No.
But it's the blunt truth of the facts of you can't pay your current wages. Why are we going to allow you to sign?
They'll end up paying them. Because the players have to be paid, so they'll end up paying them. Also, I think I think we're in agreement on this, Matt. That the fact is, if you read deeper into that, it makes complete sense. And for us, earlier, didn't the EFL say something like, if you cannot afford to pay the next payday, we are going to start effectively looking for buyers, and you will sell it at a cost that we will deem appropriate. Not 100 million. Well, give me 110. Oh, I've got 110 million. Oh, you can have 100. Oh, I want 120. No. I think the EFL are basically saying here, let's see. Let's test you.
The exact statement, the one that you're referring to, is we continue to pursue options available to us to resolve the current challenges, like paying wages. And to that end, the league is currently in advanced discussions with Mr. Chansiri's legal advisors on formalising a process around divestment of his shareholding in the club, which is as close as you are ever going to get to the EFL coming out and saying, we're not helping him anymore. He needs to sell.
Hey, do you know what? How many people have made money off of Mr. Chansiri? I'm gutted that I didn't get down to Hillsborough and just threw something at him like, you know what? I can sing every day. I'll sing in the stand. I'll do it. I'll tell you what. I'll do it for £2 million a month.
Do you know what?
Even the solicitor must fly.
Trick, you.
Do you know
the
solicitor? The solicitor, hey, mate, we'll get you on as well, Matt. We'll get them teaching. We'll do the lot. We'll throw the lot in. I'll tell you what. We'll go up to the training ground. We'll teach the players.
Paul, I'll be honest. You can sing. I'll be honest. Ask any of my kids. I can't fucking teach.
I'll tell you what, though. It's like the solicitor must be sat there. Mr. Chansiri's solicitor must be sat there saying, well, I'm going away this year on a great holiday because it's all coming in. I've got so much money coming in here. I mean, Christ, what's he dealing with, by the way?
Well, the interesting thing I read from that statement and veiled between it, I thought the EFL, because this was a couple of weeks ago, this statement, I thought the EFL must know something about people who are potentially interested in buying the club. Yeah. And whilst I do think that there are still people who are there who are potentially willing to buy the club, I am currently of the opinion that all of those people, nobody has the money. Now, whether they had the money at a different point in time or not, or whether they have the money waiting, I'm not entirely sure. I can only speak to the one person who has actually put a formal bid in here because I've spoken to him. I've spoken to him for several times. At the point that the bid went in from the American and Florida consortium, they had cash ready to go.
Yeah.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, Paul. if you are an investor and you give them a deadline and say this has to be done by now, otherwise I'm walking away, as an investor, you look weak if you then go back on it and say, oh, we'll have a couple more months, a couple more months, because these people are presented with opportunities like Sheffield Wednesday as an investment piece, left, right and centre. Why? Because they've got deep pockets.
I think this becomes down to Chansiri as well in regards to no intention of selling this club. And, you know, my question that I keep asking, and I don't know why, is why doesn't he want to sell this club? I'm at the firm belief that if he says, I want 50 million and somebody goes, there you go, he'll go, actually, I want 60. There's something in me that I think with this chairman, he's going to fight all the way until somebody comes up to him like the regulator and goes, actually, off you go.
Yeah. You mentioned a casino earlier, and I've mentioned it a couple of times when we've spoken about kind of like gambling sponsorship. I've got a very close friend of mine who actually just coincidentally has won a load of awards this week. He runs he's got a full-time job, but he also does a side business of selling chicken wings. They're great, by the way, if they ever come to Sheffield.
How much are they? Can we get a good deal for the club?
They're not cheap. I'm not going to lie to you. They're bougie. They're not cheap. But he recently has come to terms with the fact that he has got a gambling addiction, and he opened up to me last week about the fact that he went to Vegas on a stag do a couple of months ago, thought he was in control of it, but actually realised he'd relapsed very hard.
Oh, wow, yeah.
Now, I am of the opinion, Paul, here, that when you were talking about that with Chansiri, where it's going to take a regulator, I have been in a casino with this person where somebody has actually come up and tapped him on the shoulder and just said,
enough.
Probably enough now, mate. Step away. And that is the only time that he's actually stopped, and he walked out of there and he was fuming. Like, he walked out of the casino. And I remember being with him at the time. Like, I tried to tell him, I walked away from him. I went back to the hotel. I rang him 2 hours later. He's still sat at the table. I've gone back to try and drag him away. And then basically a pit boss has come up to him, tapped him on the shoulder and just gone, enough now, mate. He's got kicked out of there. He's then spent the next hour of that night out going, they're fucking disgusting. I was on a roll. I was just about to turn it. I was just about to do this. And the reason... it is literally, I think back to that moment quite frequently, and especially when I talk to him and I think about how well he's doing now, because he's come clean to his wife and he's admitted all his faults. He's confronted the fact that he's got this huge, big financial burden, that he's very fortunate that he's in a well-paid job and it hasn't actually impacted him that much. Yeah, I think the same's going to happen with him.
You know what? Let me just tell you a quick story about... I was in with a friend in Vegas, and we were having. I'm not a gambler, but I understood. I put a couple of chips on roulette, and I won. And I was brought a beer, and I was like, right, now walk away. And I walked away, and they make it a little bit difficult, but
of course.
I was sat at the bar with a mate who doesn't gamble at all, and we were watching this one guy. And there was some girl sat at the side of us, not with us, but they were sat at the side. And this guy was, he was literally playing roulette, and he was doing this. He's spinning the wheel, and then he's putting all these chips on, and then he's going away, and then he's walking away out of our sight while the wheel's turning. Then it stops, and he comes back just in time. Okay, and then he'll throw more money in for more chips, and it literally, it's pulling it out of his sock. He's pulling money out, dollars out of everywhere, and I'm like, Jesus, Jason. I said, this guy. I bet he's just done about $5,000 or $5,000 straight away. And then when it's spinning, he's going. I said to my mate, I went, I'm going to the toilet. I said, I need to know where this guy's going, because he's literally, when he's spinning, I don't know whether it's a belief that he thinks it's going to come in. I followed him, and he was playing 2 roulette tables.
Yeah.
And he was spinning that one, and he was going to the other one. He's putting chips on that one, spinning that one, then he's going back to that one. And I was like, fucking hell. And when he won, he came over and he bought the girls a drink.
Yeah.
And it was like a, look at me, you know, yeah. And this is just my personal opinion with Chansiri. I feel like he's very much, I'm all in and I can turn this round. I mean, there is no way, I know gambling's like a percentage game, but there is no way on this earth under the current squad.
No,
they're not going to play for him. They're clearly not going to play for him. I don't care what they say. If I was a professional player at Wednesday at the minute, I'm playing for the fans. I'm not playing for him. The staff can't have much trust in him.
No,
the fan base have completely gone.
Yeah,
that tap on the shoulder needs to happen probably by the person that is the regulator that goes, enough.
Yeah.
But again, we don't know where, if he's in debt with borrowing money. We don't know because we don't know if he owes banks or if he owes people or companies.
Yeah.
We just don't know. And if he stays at the club, is he not going to get into more? Like you say with your friend, is a time to stop.
Yeah.
If you don't stop, I mean, I said this to James on the last show. Didn't he say that his mom had said to him, "You need to sell"? And then didn't he say that it was making him ill? Yeah. I'm like, I'm at the opinion that I don't know what Mr. Chansey's other businesses are, if he's got any, but I just think that this is the only thing that he's got.
Yeah, I agree.
That gives him that. That these are my people and I control. It's a control thing as well. I've got control over these people and I'll do what I want. I mean, I spat my coffee actually when I was reading something in the morning with Twitter, and Clive Betts had said to him with the MPs, "Would you like it? We'd like to have a meeting." And he went, "What's it got to do with you?" And I'm like, "Whoa, don't piss them off. What you doing? What are you doing there?" I was like, I'll tell you what, start the wheel.
Well, it was when you were talking then, and you were talking about that gentleman who walked back to the table and bought people a drink, and it made him feel really big. Again, his moment for that was Wembley when Darren Moore...
He's getting out. There's that great clip outside the car. Everybody's there, Mr. Chat, and he's like, and so, that one guy that goes like that to him, I can't, and he's doing all this, and he's like, has he ever had that? We don't know his family life. Has he ever had that? There's a reason he doesn't work for Thai Union Group, surely. Yeah. Has he ever had that praise from anywhere where he actually thinks, you know what, I'm actually the man. I am the man, and I'm going to control everything. I mean, I did a gig for the club on the 150 years, and I believe that I think the chairman had to sign the check off for that, and that. And I'm like, what? Even then I was like, isn't there anybody like, don't you have...
Yeah, isn't there anybody senior to do this?
You shall have in Thailand up, trace the invoice in Thailand. I think like your friend that's a gambler, it's knowing when to say no. Yeah. And, I don't want any harm to happen to anybody. It's like, I feel that this club under certain managers, I remember the Josh Lahuke when he was going, how horrible was that?
Yeah.
And I know he was at the club because he couldn't get out of the club. But even though Mr. Chansiri is in Thailand, I still don't think it's easy for him to turn off. I don't. It's too much. No. It's too much shit getting thrown at him, isn't it?
It's the biggest headache, isn't it, that he's got at the minute, irrespective of what his other businesses may or may not be. It is
through not having a plan, headache. Through not having a plan, Matt. Through not having a CEO like Wrexham.
Yeah.
That actually, you've got people like Howard Wilkinson.
Yeah.
You've got what Man United do, which is again the marketing thing, which is really interesting but brilliant. Man United have ambassadors. So I work with the ambassadors and I'd entertain, but the ambassadors would do a Q&A, or they would be the face of the club. And you have every generation of ambassadors. You have Brian Robson, Dennis Irwin, Wes Brown, different generations. And they would affiliate those ambassadors with the right clientele or brand
of course.
with the club. Yeah. And they would buy into that, have a drink with whoever. And the one thing we've got Chris Waddle, for fuck's sake, in the local area.
I know. And the other thing is, I think it was a trust member who mentioned this the other day. I think it was Jake, actually. He was talking about the fact that there is a need now for legends to come out and back the protest movement. And they have sort of done so. They have all spoke up on the ownership. There's not many who you'll come across now who will say, actually, the chairman's just poorly advised. Like Chris Waddle's very vocal on the fact that he thinks the owner's useless and he needs to go and he needs to sell. There is a need now, I do feel, for actually some of those people who are connected. Like there was a photo that came out in the week surrounding David Hurst and Steve Bracknell sat in a pub watching Sheffield United get beat, and they were pointing up at the TV and it was 4-1 Bristol City. That's all fun and games, but there is going to come a point where irrespective of what happened with his son, this chairman has banished one of the biggest legends that this football club.
Do you know what? I know Hursty and I love him, and he's a great guy. I honestly, he's a great guy. I spoke to him a few weeks ago at Allen, and also who's a great guy as well, who I think when it all comes out, won't be as bad as people think. Big bad George Hurst.
Yeah,
he's a
not.
lovely lad who loves Sheffield Wednesday.
Yeah.
You know, he grew up in the academy. Of course, he loves the club. But again, one of many things, Leighton Palmer, all these legends can't all be bad people. They can't all be like not coming to the club for a reason. They can't, because they've been affiliated with it for so long under that many different people. It's like managers. I was saying earlier on about Danny Rowell. You know, it's all right saying, oh, he'd have gone to Southampton. Why would he have gone to Southampton?
Yeah.
I don't care if you're in the Premier League. Southampton are now in the Championship. Yeah, they've got more money. I firmly believe, this is, again, a lot of this is just my opinion. I firmly believe that Danny Rowell had a 3-year plan at Wednesday. He saved us from relegation. He's of the Red Bull knowledge, which is brilliant. He knows how to
structure and build a club.
Something there has gone, no, I'm not doing that. Or whatever's gone on, and people go, and, you know, the fans go, oh, snake. Really? Yeah. Knowing what we know now, is he really a snake?
Yeah. No, I agree with you, Paul, and we'll wrap it up on this, and we'll wait for more news to come out surrounding the 1867.
Well, the South Stand's getting close tomorrow.
Yeah, South Stand's getting close soon. Anyway, it'll all be full for the Leeds game. But yeah, Paul, I do just want to say, mate, thank you so much for giving up your time.
Oh, my pleasure.
Talking kind of like Wednesday, because I think one of the things that, obviously, when you were last on the main show with James, you obviously contacted the debate show, obviously, the week before, and I know you speak very, very eloquently on that and have done for a number of years. I always love listening to your opinion of somebody who is in rooms and circles with people who should be buying this football club or buying into it, because actually you see both sides of the coin. You see not only the emotional pull of a fan who goes to games and sits amongst it and all the rest of it, but also you see the opinion of all of these other clubs and what they do. And when inevitably the conversation comes up of, oh, are you a so-and-so fan? No, I'm a Wednesday fan. And they then turn to you and go, what's going on there?
Do you know what? Can I just say on that as well? What hurts me more than anything, it's very difficult to explain. Like you say, I come back when I was working for Man United. And when I say this, I always, because I'm like you. I'm just when I go away and do like something with a club.
Yeah,
I remember I went to Barcelona to watch them play on the Wednesday, and on the Monday night I went to the Sheffield derby.
Yeah,
when we had Dave Jones, and it was pissing it down. I think we got a 0-0 draw, and then I went to Barcelona. 0-0 win. Then I went to Barcelona and sat with like my boss, who's like was a brilliant at marketing, and I'm singing the Impossible Dream for Sir Alex and all the affiliates around in Russia. And then they've got like white walls with all the like Busby babes playing, they're embracing the history of the club.
Yeah.
And then I'm coming back and I'm watching this absolute shit show, and I'm like, this is my club.
Yeah.
This is my, like, I find it so hard not to speak passionately, because it's fucking common sense. As you know, you're very intellectual, you're very intelligent, and you know how things work. You speak eloquently, you know what you're doing. You both know what this club should be. And the fact of the matter is, we don't care if it's Chansiri who does it right, but we don't care if we lose, as long as we can see a process that helps the owner.
Yeah.
But to banish everybody and not, what hurt me, sorry to go on, but what really, really pissed me right off was I sat in one of his rants. I'd never what was it? His forums, where we sit down at the beginning. And we were told that Mr. Chansiri is speaking, and that you will. And I'm like, "Whoa, is this World War II? What the fuck?
Yeah.
Am I? What is this dictate? What's going on here?" Yeah. And then I stayed for his 5 hours. First and foremost, I couldn't believe how relaxed he was in regards to, I'm just going for a fag. And I'm like, but then, which was absolutely fine, nothing wrong with that. But then I asked him a question. This was when Darren Moore had left.
Yeah.
And when obviously we all knew Darren Moore was a great guy. He's a great guy. He spoke really, really well. And he was like that bridge before Danny Rowell, where we as fans had to go off what he said and we listened to him. There wasn't so much a PR thing. It was him.
He was a leader, wasn't he?
He was a leader.
Yeah.
And I asked the question, and Liam, I knew Liam as well from the club. I asked a question, and I said, because Liam knew what I did, and he said, I said, Mr. Chansiri, I said, all due respect, I said, can I just ask, now that Darren Moore's gone, what department or what purpose or what person will sit between the club and the fan base to engage exactly everything that's not happening now? That will talk to the people, and then we'll actually let us know what's going on.
Have a dialogue.
Have a dialogue. We can talk to the club. And he went, and I'm like, wow.
Yeah.
Wow. And then Liam asked for people in the room. As you well know, Wednesday fans are far and wide in regards to their abilities and the profession and what they bring, millionaires or whatever, very successful people. And I was sat, being the least successful, I was sat in this room with Liam and a pen. The chairman wasn't there. And people were asked, because Liam knew what I did. And he said to Mr. Chansiri, he works for Man United. And he went, oh. So I thought, right, this is going to be interesting. If I can get in a room to speak and see in regards to just to try and work him out like we're all trying to do. Anyway, he wasn't there, and Liam was there, and we had a pen and paper, and there was one guy that had a CRM system. That this CRM system was brilliant, and he was going to give it the club, and it was something that would solve loads of problems.
Yeah. And
then there was something that apparently wouldn't work, so Mr. Chansiri probably wouldn't go for that. So that was crossed off. The next person was crossed off. The next person was crossed off. I think the fan base, the place where they all drink. By the way, Macclesfield Town have one of those, and it makes a fucking fortune.
Yeah.
But it's outsourced, I think, by Sheffield Wednesday, if I believe right, and they get a percentage back, whatever. Well, there we go. All these things, and I don't think anybody left. I don't think they left with anybody. And I'm like, that room is full because I see it on a different level. It's full of people that want to help this chairman.
Yeah.
And he just doesn't want. And it's just like you, mate. It's just, you make that journey. You go with your dad. It's one of those things. My dad's Italian. He lives in Campobasso. My brother's an Inter fan. My dad's an Inter Milan fan. My brother's an AC Milan fan. I'm fucking stuck with this.
Yeah. You really did draw the short end of the straw, didn't you?
Shit stick. But do you know what? I just believe we'll get through it, and I just hope that it's peaceful and it gets done the right way. But it's testing people, isn't it? Now
it is, it is, mate. And I don't think the next couple of months are going to get any easier. And I suppose the news about it will rumble on over the course of the next week. We will wrap it up now, guys.
Yes,
thank you so much for joining. Thank you so much for listening, Paul. Again, thank you so much for.
Thank you for having me, mate. Great job, you and James. Can I just say, great job that you and James do. Just brilliant. Great listen.
I always really appreciate it. I really appreciate it, mate. Thank you so much. Take care, all. Have a good evening.